Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Ashley. I'm a homeschooling mom with 7 kids, ranging from 7th grade down to almost 10 months, almost 11 months, almost 1. We've been homeschooling for this is our 4th year, and I just like to share a ton about homeschooling, about large family life. We have a large family, obviously, and there's not a whole lot of people that do. So anyway, how our first week has gone homeschooling. I just wanted to kind of share with you some things with you from our first week back. Like I said, this is year 4 for us. I have had 2 kids in public school, my older 2. And then I have had another in a private preschool. She did half of a private preschool before COVID. And so I'm essentially homeschooling 5 kids right now. I'm surprised that it actually has gone pretty well this week. I will link my video that I just did actually for the schedules, like how I do multiple kids, how I homeschool multiple kids, multiple ages, multiple grades at one time, and the kind of schedule template that I feel like has worked, that I purchased off of Etsy, that I feel like is just a good flow and goes great with our day. I am surprised, actually, like I said, how kind of smooth it's been. There have been some hiccups, obviously, this week, but I feel like we're pretty much kind of getting into a routine and sticking with our things. If you have been watching me, you know that we have moved. And so in our old house, we previously did not have a homeschool space at all. We would homeschool on the couch. We would homeschool in it was playroom / study. So it was a study, but it was our playroom. Sometimes in my room, kitchen table sometimes. I mean, we had very limited space, and it was fine. I mean, we made do with it. It was fine. But now we're using the upstairs open game area to have a couple of desks for my older 2, and then a just kind of a little square desk with 4 chairs for some of my younger ones. So that has been great because I can bring the baby up there and just plop him down, and everyone's kind of in this one area. So I really like having a designated homeschool space. I don't have anything on the walls or anything fancy, but because I haven't decided yet. It's hard when you just paint and you like put that first nail in the wall and freshly painted walls. So I am not quite there yet to decorate the walls, but we'll see. That's kind of a work in progress. But for now, the system that we have, the kind of environment that we have, is working well. My first grader, who I thought was actually going to be last year in kindergarten, it was very hard for her to kind of stay focused and to stay motivated. And she has done quite well. I've been very, very surprised with that. And I feel like she, you know, sometimes it takes some convincing, like we just have a little bit more to do. And I mentioned in my video that I just did that I try and do all of their stuff, their basic stuff, get that out of the way in the morning. It wouldn't work doing it in the afternoon because we've kind of already lost focus. So it's actually gone quite well. And I've been surprised with her kind of outlook on it. And I think she's doing really, really well. Reading is still kind of a struggle to get her to do. She's not a quick reader, but she does well when she focuses on it. So that's been kind of a little hiccup. Another little hiccup that we have had is my youngest that I'm schooling, so my 3-year-old. It's kind of hard to keep him occupied. He is my one that's like, okay, I'm done. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? And so it's been kind of hard to go back and forth, and I am sometimes being pulled in all directions. Mom, 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 which, I mean, you know, that's on a daily basis, but when you're trying to, you know, teach kids something and they're all wanting, they're all done at the same time, and it's like, oh my gosh. But that is what I did. I have grouped all my little kids together so that I could focus on their stuff at the same time. There is not one that's going and playing like ABC Mouse while the other one is having to do math. And that's the problem that I think I encountered last time, was one would get done and then they would get to go and do something fun. And it's like, no, we all have to finish. And then you can go and do it, because I will lose their attention in 2 seconds if I have one kid that's, you know, playing on the computer and then one that's having to do math. It just doesn't work. So I have found that really clumping and sticking with that schedule has been very beneficial for this year. I have found that throwing in some fun things in between all of the mandatory curriculum, core curriculum, has been good. We did drawing and art. It's kind of good. We have done drawing, and kind of Fridays as being more of a lax day. And so that kind of helps. So my schedule that I originally thought, I'm going to kind of knock out a couple of things for Friday, because I feel like that's just kind of, we used to not school on Fridays. Actually, my first and second year, my first for sure. I can't remember if I did my second year also. We just did Monday through Thursday, but then my older kids were behind. So we were having to kind of play catch up at the end of the year. And I don't want to get to that point. I want to just, if anything, finish early. So, making sure that I stay on track, you know, keeping myself held accountable is sometimes hard, and saying, okay, we have to stick with this schedule. And by schedule, I mean making sure that the basics get done every day when they're supposed to. So math and language arts, pretty much. Handwriting, make sure they get done. If we go somewhere, if we have an appointment, they do it in the car. What they can do some in the car. Handwriting, you know, if we're sitting waiting for a kid inside, you know, a speech therapy appointment or something like that, my other ones will work on stuff so that, you know, we're sitting there, we might as well. My older kids are definitely more independent this year, and a lot more go-getters this year. So I've been very thankful for that. Again, they are the two that have been in public school before, so they understand a little bit more of structure, environment. And that's what they're used to, especially my older one, who finished 3rd grade in public school. And so his work ethic is a little bit different, I think, than my other kids who have not had that. I have done quite a few changes as far as 7th grade, as far as math, and doing a DVD for teaching as opposed to me teaching. Although, you know, if we're out and about, I can look at the lesson and see, is this something I can teach you now? You know, if we don't have our computer with us, obviously. And so that's been great, because as we get into the higher maths, I mean, it's just pre-algebra, but as we get into the higher maths, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. So, that's been good for us. And what else? I'm trying to think. Again, we don't get up at the crack of dawn to do this. We don't get up at the crack of dawn to start school. And I find that makes a huge difference. I can't have like 7 tired kids all day and me. So, we, you know, we try and start by 10, and, sometimes earlier, sometimes 9. That's good too. But, you know, not forcing a 8 o'clock start is great. I've never done that. I maybe started that. I think I tried to do that at the very, very beginning, and that didn't even last the whole year. So, anyway, so just wanted to check in. Overall, it's been a pretty good start. We are waiting on our science curriculum. So that's one thing we haven't started yet. I alternate 2 days of science, 2 days of history. So alternate every other day. And the morning binders that I have for the little kids, that's also been great. That has the calendar in there with the little Velcro stickers, you know, so I purchased, printed, laminated, and then put them in a binder with little Velcro things. So we actually, the 3 of them do calendar work at the beginning. tracing names from, tracing his name for my kindergartner, making sure that he knows how to spell his name. And my older kids will also, if I'm busy doing something or making a phone call or something, my older kids can help get them started on calendar work. And so that's been real great also, because that always helps out when they can help, which they do quite a bit. So again, having that designated homeschool space makes a huge difference. And I feel like it makes them focus a lot more, because otherwise they're just kind of focused on everything else. Not having the TV on until everybody is done. That is another thing that we, last year sometimes we would, just to keep kids occupied, I would stick in a movie, and when not all of them were schooling, and that was not a bright idea, and it made them lose focus. It made my older kids lose focus. And so that is one thing. We do not have the TV on until everybody is done, or nobody watches anything, a movie or anything, until everybody is done. And that's just how it is. So anyway, how is your first week gone? If you have started this week, or if maybe you've been going, this is only our first week. I try and start with the same dates as public school. And so I opted to start this week. It just kind of worked out that way. So let me know if you have any comments or any questions or any, any tips, anything at all. I always am welcome and open to tips. No matter how many kids I have, I can always use some friendly advice. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you next time. Bye.